Hey everybody, welcome to Shift Happens, week number 343. Ladies John. Hi, we have
They
Nerf
both
guns.
have Nerf guns?
Yeah, we do. Whose side are you on?
Yours, I'm sitting next to you. Protect me.
Good choice. Good choice. So we're gonna make this short and sweet because I'm not gonna talk much.
Right.
So last night, about 9 o'clock, 10 after 9, my wife gets a phone call, and she's like, "Here, talk to Lyle." So I get on the phone, and
I thought you were sleeping.
I was on my way to bed.
I know.
Doing the bed dance. I was like, "Come on, guys, let's go to bed." That's the dogs. So they're like, doo, 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 across the room. And I go, "Hey, what's up?" He goes, "I think I cut my finger. I think I might have cut my finger or
I
something."
said, I cut my finger. I think it's pretty bad, but I don't know if it's going to stop bleeding.
And then I was like, then he makes this comment. He goes, "Well, I've called you because I figured you've done something like this before. Thanks for the vote of confidence," which I have more than once. And I said, "Well, send me a picture." So then the picture wouldn't go through.
Yeah.
And because he's got this California phone, so it's got to go like to California, then come back to Nebraska, and we don't let Californians into the state that often, so it's an issue coming across the wall into Nebraska. And so then I look at the picture. I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. You know, what did we decide? Put glue on it or something, right?
Yeah.
So the picture comes through, and then I was like, "Sean, call it back. That looks really bad."
Yeah, it was bad.
So I called it back. I was like, "Yeah, try to go to the hospital."
Yeah, it was
And then what time is it? About 10:30 you went?
Yeah, by the time we made it to the hospital.
And so then Sean's like, "Well, what do you think that is?" And I said, "Well, I think it's bad. Well, should I go drive him there?" And I was like, "That's up to you. If you want to go in there and drive him, be a mom and take him in, but I'm not being a dad." So, because I call him an Uber.
I live right by the
I
hospital.
know, she's like, "Well," she goes, "Well, I feel bad. Maybe I should go drive him because I don't know if he should drive." And I was like, "Call him an Uber." And I like it. That's why I would have called you an Uber. And so she hesitated, and then I was like, "It's up to you. If you take him to the hospital, just let me know." So then I went to sleep, and it was like, what, 3 o'clock? You called back,
Yeah.
and I was just tossing and turning. You just got home, right?
3:30 a.m. I got home. Yeah.
So, besides, at least they fixed you, right? I mean,
Yes,
they
yes.
didn't do what they were supposed to do, but how great was the experience?
It wasn't good.
So, but I guess when you cut you were doing some knife throwing, right?
Yeah, I do that in my kitchen.
Throw them up in the air, and
Yeah.
you just cut it wrong or something like that?
I was cutting a kiwi.
My story is a lot better. I would not say that. My story is better. He said he was cutting fruit. That's lame, isn't it?
I broke the rules that I was cutting toward me. You're supposed to cut away.
See, now is it knife throwing much better?
It
That's
is.
more.
I was knife throwing.
That's more Midwestern.
Yeah, I was knife juggling.
There you go, juggling knives.
Okay.
You shoot at me, I'll shoot at you. So, anyway, so carry on. Now, how was your experience? Get my bullet here. Hi. Go ahead.
Get the other. It wasn't very good. From the moment I walked in, first thing I noticed was some of
You a
the.
little nervous with us walking around with guns?
Yeah, I am.
I mean, if I'd be waving it around like that, I'd be nervous. My finger's not on the trigger. As for you, Steiner, my finger's not on the trigger. You'd be very proud of me. He always cusses me out. Finger off the trigger. Got it, Steiner, my finger's off the trigger. So, anyway.
It just wasn't very good. The people that I dealt with didn't really seem like they wanted to be there. Weren't very attentive, and as an example, so I had a lot of.
But let's stop it for a second. Here's what's amazing. You have a crisis situation. Fortunately, you knew kind of what was happening when you when you were throwing the knives in the air. You know not to do that. Put the shields over the knives. But yet you knew what was happening. You knew anatomy-wise what was going on. Think of the average person, and I don't mean average, but think of somebody who doesn't know what the situation is. They're like, holy cow.
I would have been freaking out if I had no idea.
Yeah.
I would have freaked out. But
Yeah, but go on. I said I just on the middle.
I tried using like this clotting agent. It's just a powder, but it makes a mess. You put it on.
At the hospital?
No, so I went to Walgreens, bought some stuff, bought some gauze, and just tried to get the bleeding to stop for about an hour. It didn't stop, so I'm like, okay.
You know what I told Sean we should do?
What?
She didn't think it was a good idea.
Cut my finger off?
No, I said, I've seen this in movies, in some, action adventure movies, where they take gunpowder and they put it in there and then they light the gunpowder on fire?
That can work. That's pretty much it.
No, I didn't tell her that. I was like, you know what we can do if it doesn't stop? She goes, what's that? I said,
It hurt really
I just
bad.
watched this look. I might have some gunpowder downstairs a little. Just a little? What are you laughing at?
For a little army, or what do you think?
So I might have some
Oh,
gunpowder
it's
downstairs.
yeah.
Shh. I'm gonna edit that out of there. I might have some gunpowder downstairs. I said, I can go downstairs and get some gunpowder. You know what she says? Which brand? I was like, I like Unique. And I was gonna sprinkle a little bit of that in there and then light it on fire. It wouldn't hurt very long. I want to say that actually. Yeah, but I was kind of excited because I was like, I wonder if that would work. It was in the movies.
It was pretty much gunpowder. When I put it in my hand, and then you press it down, and it just makes a mess. But it was bleeding. It was. I mean, it's.
Decision don't press down. You put the gunpowder on, you light it on fire.
Well, I should have lit it up.
Should have called me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you did.
I did.
Face of that, I did. Anyway, go ahead. I said short. We're not going to get done in time.
So we'll make this shorter. Long story short,
No,
when the nurse comes in
I
to
totally missed that, didn't
to clean my thumb out, the doctor wanted her to clean the wound before he stitched it. First of all, I was waiting, probably a couple hours before.
What time did you get to the hospital?
10:30. I left at 3:30 a.m.
Wow.
So that was fast track. They fast tracked me. So good thing.
Thank goodness you'd still be there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
God.
I even asked him when I got there to stop bleeding, and I said, would it just be easier if I wait until the morning and just go to an urgent care and get it stitched up? And they just.
No, we got you on fast track. You're on the 5-hour plan.
And they're like, oh, it's just kind of slow tonight. Oh,
Kind of slow.
we'll be all right. They're just moving at a slower pace, or we don't have as many people as we usually do. So I said, okay, well, that's fine. That's all right. I'll hang out. I don't have much choice. And then the nurse was supposed to clean out my finger. She didn't really want to. She said ew when she saw my finger.
She said, ooh.
She said ew. And then,
Does she have an RN degree?
as far as I know, she was nice, but she didn't really want to be there, I don't think. And she gave me a tub of water, put it right next to me with a towel, left the room as quick as she could, and she said, here you go, this is to clean out your wound. So I'm like, okay, I could be doing this at home. But I sat there, got the towel, cleaned the wound out as best I could.
Did you bill yourself for this?
I should have.
Did they charge you for the water?
Probably. Then they took an
So
X-ray.
you cleaned your own wound?
I cleaned my own wound, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then once it was cleaned out, they took an X-ray to make sure there were no fragments or anything that didn't do any real damage, which was good. And the doctor came in to stitch it up. Did a good job, good at what he does. And then he cleaned it out a little more, pressure washing it with the syringe. And that was that. 5 hours later, I was out.
So did they give you a bill when you were there?
Not with numbers, no. Just with what they did.
Be curious to see when you get the bill. Let's be curious because I honestly, and I would do this for you because the type of person I am. If they charge on there for cleaning, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not paying that because you did. I did it. I cleaned the.
Yeah.
I guess the moral of this is I'm glad your finger's okay. Next time, he moves out of the house and 5 days later he cuts himself. God knows what's gonna happen tomorrow.
It wasn't even 5 days, it was 3 days.
3 days later, yeah.
Oh wait, today's Wednesday, it's 2 days.
2 days. Next he's gonna get lost. Can we put like a tracking device on him? Because he's gonna get lost.
There's a phone.
It's
Okay.
a grid here. It's easy.
I know, I told
live from a
him,
big
we
city.
got a grid system,
Okay.
so every 12 blocks is
Yeah,
a
but
mile.
2 days he cuts his finger off. What next?
Well, as long as he won't get lost,
Don't get lost.
That's true.
so.
We gotta do something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But the thing that what's really sad about this
It's one
is
of those bubbles,
is-
like they play bubble soccer.
from
A
one side,
cowbell?
we have part of our
Cowbell.
profession, the 90% of our profession, but wants to follow that model.
Yeah.
And first of all, they did their job. They sewed you up just like they put me back together. My experience is much better than yours. But we have so much, many of our profession that wants to be like that.
Mhm.
I think maybe I like our 10%.
No way. I think the first thing I saw Dr. Matt when I got back, and it was refreshing to be back in this. I couldn't wait to get in the morning to do what we do, and we're happy to be here, and we're excited, and we have fun.
What did I say to this guy? I don't know how effective he's going to be because he cut his thumb off, so I don't know what he's going to do about it.
But it's good. I had a great morning. Really productive, and
So the moral of the story is what before we go?
Wait till the morning to go to urgent care.
Okay, but before we do that, how do we avoid urgent care? Take sharp objects away from Delgado.
Yes.
On that note,
Just eat the skin of the
We're outta
kiwi, don't take anything out.
Oh, you got it.